How did you sort of assess what sort of a night it was for you?
Oh, it was a good night. It was a desperation night. You lose all these games in a row. You just want to win. It's hard to win in this league, and I feel like we've been playing great basketball. Just haven't hasn't resulted in what we wanted. But we all play connected. I feel like my team helped me get in great spots to be successful and make some shots on the court.
Spoon said that even though this is only your second time scoring 40, like he wants more. Like, the wins were different, he says. With Wiggs, we can do a lot of different things. And, he's never been that guy, but he can be here. Do you think about the game in that way, how this is an opportunity to score more than maybe you have in past stops?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I just try to do whatever the team needs me to do. Whether scoring, defense, on, winning is the main priority, and everything else is, just icing on the cake.
Tuesday's it's gonna have some feelings. It's gonna have feelings here for people with Jimmy coming back, and you'll be seeing your guys again for the first time in a couple months. What do you expect it to be like?
It's a competitive game. Fun competitive game. For sure. History on both sides, so it'll be fun.
You're smiling, so I think you're very enjoying it already.
Oh yeah, I love the people over there. I had a great time. Great organization. My teammates were great. Fans were great. Main time, loved it over there. So I'm happy to see them again.
How'd that shower feel from Bam after the game?
Didn't know. I didn't know the answer. They see me pass. I was like, it's just love for my teammates. That's all it is. Encouraging me and want the best for me. So it's all love.
Are there games where you sort of feel it, or are there games where you sort of see it's needed? Sort of in a game like this, when was the point where you realized this is the game, this is my game?
It's kind of both. When you need, you got to try to win. Every game, and as you lose more and more, you become more desperate for a win. But just seeing my shots go in early, seeing my first shot with a three and went in, and I just felt good about myself.
How much is like as there has been a natural feeling out process? How much of the team and the coaching staff encourage you? Like, you are a scorer. We need you to go score and take your shots.
No, they want me to be aggressive. They want me to go out there, hoop, be myself. Score all through level.
Treatment days get longer.
Hey, a win. How does it feel?
Man, you do not take it for granted. It just feels great to get a win in a win column, honestly, man. Like I said, it's been a lot of down days, and to see us have a breakthrough, I'm proud of this team for not letting go of the rope.
It's only been 12 games, and tonight was obviously his best game with you guys, but just having Wiggs out there, what is that? What layer does it add to the offense? And, when he's making shots like that, obviously.
I mean, we understand he can get hot. I've been watching Wiggs since he was in high school. He's been a top prospect since I've known him, so it's not shocking that he can go get 40. For us, it's just getting him involved. He's a quiet dude, but his game speaks for itself. So when you see a couple go in, like any other NBA player, we're gonna pass you the ball, keep shooting.
You've spoken a lot over the past 2 years about growing into your role as a leader. What has the last 2+ weeks been like in that regard, just kind of keeping this team holding onto the rope?
You got to lead by example. I mean, that's really the definition of it when it comes to being a leader. Lead by example. That doesn't mean you got to score all the points. Doesn't mean you got to do everything right. It just means you got to show up and have that confident edge every day, and make guys believe. That's the difference to me. In these 2 weeks, I've been breathing life in the zoos, trying to get them to actually not let go of the rope, encouraging them, keep them going, and obviously showing up early because people got to see you in order for you to be captain. They gotta be able to see you, talk to you, and obviously learn from you.
Bam, obviously you were in the trenches with Jimmy for 5.5 years. What do you imagine Tuesday is gonna be like? Just kind of facing him as the opponent.
It's gonna be a great game. You know, I feel like it's going to be high intensity. It's going to be a great game for both teams, and you know, we see who walk out with the W.
Bam, you guys scored about 77 points on 66% shooting in the second and third quarter combined. Spo mentioned that he felt that was, Tyler mentioned that he felt that had a lot to do with the defense. You guys forced him into 20 turnovers. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah. You know, I've always stated that if we get stops and run, we're a hard team to beat. Now, when we keep letting teams score, that's when it can get ugly for us. But when we get stops and run in transition, you know, that's when everybody touches the rock. That's when we're not running plays. That's when we're just playing instinct basketball.
Tyler was talking about his shot profile changing probably over the last month, mostly because teams are just chasing him off the three-point line a ton. What have you seen from him in terms of the adjustment, like tonight, getting into the paint, the floater, all that stuff consistently? Like, what have you seen from the way teams are guarding him, how he's reacting?
He's just keeping him off balance. You know, we know Tyler can be a bucket one-on-one, but getting him on the move and guys got to chase him. His IQ is through the roof when it comes to putting that ball in the basket. And, you know, he's one of those guys, he's a 3-level scorer. And now he's also getting to the line, getting guys up on shot fakes. You know, he's really slowed down and starting to think the game. Thank you, man. Yep. Man.
Tyler, obviously this is just, again, snapping that 10-game skid, getting the win tonight. Is this sort of like a sense of relief, a breath of fresh air, just to kind of get this win tonight?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Just to get the win, it feels great.
Tyler, you guys scored about 77 points in the second and third quarter combined, I think on 66% combined shooting from the field. What kind of changed for you guys there on offense where everything just kind of got going?
I mean, obviously Wiggs made about every shot he took tonight. Khalil, we shot overall a really good percentage as a team. I thought we were getting the right shots. Everyone was moving the ball. No holds really tonight. Getting the ball where it needed to go. It was a great offensive game. We started slow. We just sticked with it, and we were able to make plays for each other. Everyone hit shots. And I think it really started on defense, though, getting a lot of deflections, steals, being disruptive, and then getting out in transition.
Tyler, knowing what your goals, shot profile-wise, were coming into the season, you have been adding twos over the past month or so, getting downhill more as well. Where does the last month, as far as what your shot profile looks like, kind of fit into your overall approach to the season with regards to how teams?
Yeah, I don't like it. I ain't really like it the last month, honestly. Just the way everything's been going. Obviously, we've been losing, but my shot profile has definitely kind of gotten back to the years past. You know, mid-range shots, floaters, and stuff like that. Obviously, the way guys are guarding me now, I'm not getting the same catch and shoot threes I was getting at the beginning of the year, and even my pull-up threes off the bounce aren't the same I was getting early on. A lot of guys are blitzing me or being switching or being up on the pick and roll. So I'll just find different ways to be aggressive. I'm not going to get the same shots every game, just the way guys are guarding me. But I just got to find different ways to be efficient. Also context a game, knowing when to shoot the pull-up too, which I think I'm doing pretty well.
Looking at the next matchup, you guys obviously will be facing Gold State here. Just what are your general thoughts on, Jimmy B on the other side and kind of getting a go at that matchup?
It'll be fun. I think it's another game for us, honestly. We're just came off a 10-game losing streak. We got bigger things to worry about at this point. We need to just win games. Obviously, Jimmy's coming back here, but it's a regular game.
All right, thank you, Tyler. We can speak to the locker room now, guys. Okay.
After what you guys have been through for the last 2 weeks, how good does this one feel?
I'll tell you what. When I mentioned this to the guys, I'm not going to ever take it for granted. I didn't think that I did take it for granted, but I don't think we're going to take it for granted how difficult sometimes it can be to win in this league. And we've experienced everything in this organization. So, yeah, I do think our guys should enjoy this one. I'm going to enjoy it, for a short period of time. We know how we're wired. We'll get ready for the next one. But the untold story will be the fact that we've been playing good basketball. We've been playing better. You can see there's been an improvement. And there's been, just some random fluctuations of guys in and out. That's not, I'm not going to make that an excuse, but you can see that there's been progress, and ultimately you just want to see progress. You want to be a part of something where you feel like there's something happening, and we've felt that, for, the last several games of the last 20 to 25 to 30 days. But the reality is we haven't been able to win, so that does have an impact on the human condition. But our guys are resilient, and it's a connected group. It's a group that has great toughness to be able to pick ourselves up off the mat and get back to work the next day, and that is a great quality. So. We'll enjoy this one, and hopefully start to, put together, some games. The way we look at it, we've been playing playoff games with the kind of stress and expectations and context for 6 weeks. We feel like we've been doing that. So if we can just continue to do this and turn these into wins, we think that we can be a dangerous team.
Two things, if I may. First, is it fitting that this one comes with little adversity with it? I mean, the start was not great.
Yeah.
And then when the snap happened, then
hopefully we're getting a whole lot more comfortable just with that. That happened early on, so we have the kind of toughness, resiliency that we're normally able to, change the energy of a game. And that's what happened in the second quarter. Our second unit came in. I thought H and Davion really sparked us in that second quarter, and then guys were flying around. Kalel was great. That unit was really good. That's why we let them ride. And then obviously offensively, Wiggs just went on a roll, which I'm sure we'll talk more about him. But that effort and tenacity defensively, we've been doing that more often than not the last 6 weeks. Like I said, we've had a couple duds of games, but not a ton. I wouldn't count the Clipper game as one of those games. The Clipper game, we just got outplayed by a team, that played really well that night. We've been doing some things defensively. Offensively, we've been really good, in large stretches, even with some of the guys out. We need to face our things, that we're dealing with in fourth quarters. So we'll continue to work on that, and we'll continue to try to conquer that.
Second question, like you surmised, was about Wiggs. 9 for 10 in the second half, and he's not a 40-point guy. He's only done 40 once before in his career, but everything just looked like in rhythm, getting just the shots that the offense kind of presented.
Well, you know how we are. We want to be more. The role for us is more, and it's not better or worse. He had a great role, where he was before, but we need him to be more. And he wants to take on that kind of challenge, and he makes us different. We haven't had enough games with him, but it is enough, to see it. Immediately we saw it when, he's been available. That just makes us different. He fits like what we need, and he gives us a guy that we can throw the ball to and score like we did in the mid-post, or he can play off of our guys and knock down threes in space. He can run the floor, and he also, can play our dribble handoff game and get downhill in those situations. So that just eases a lot of pressure off of Tyler, off of Bam, off of everybody else. I think, the more games he gets, the more comfortable he gets with us, he's going to feel how we just want to fuel that. He makes us different, and we want him to be all about where the possibilities can go.
You mentioned it before, but how much of a spark was Davion and Haywood specifically defensively? Even in some of these losses, how impactful has that tandem been?
Yeah, and tonight was interesting because we originally had Davion on ball, and then H off the ball, and then ball started to get going. They're both tenacious, so then H was like, "I want to take him," and then Davion was ready to fight H for saying that. That's the kind of spirit you want. But then it gave us a different dynamic there, and Davion was spectacular off the ball. He was really disruptive. He reminded me of Kyle Lowry in a lot of things he was doing off the ball. And then H really wanted to take on that challenge. So you want guys that were just going to be, disruptive and change the energy of the game. Like that's what you bring in your second unit. The game should change. The energy should change. There should be some kind of momentum change. It's not going to happen every single time, but that's the whole idea of it. Particularly if you're effort energy guys, and those guys are able to wrap their mind around that. They've each had different roles. Davion's been a starter. H has been a starter, but this role, with Wiggs healthy, we just think it makes the most sense. And they've really kind of bought into that and excelled in that.
We spent most of the first half of the season talking about Tyler's shot profile changes and all that came with that. He's been adding twos to his game over the past month or so, and how much of that is a natural counter to the way the league has then countered him?
Yeah, a lot of things are true. It depends if Wiggs is available. Okay, the shot profile potentially could look different. And we also do need that. We need a lot of things that he can provide, and it's always going to be important if we're fully healthy, to play off the catch, play off the move. He's really good at that. In the first 25, 30 games, he was a problem, playing off the move, and so that hasn't gone anywhere. But in the meantime, he also has that other skill set that if you needed to go get one, he can do it, and all the really good players are able to do that, wherever that shot profile may be, and he's really improved in that area.
Tuesday's obviously going to feel a little bit different. A guy for 5.5 years here, mostly for the best of times. Sort of, what are your thoughts on that game and seeing Jimmy in an opposition color? After all this,
the best thing about that is we've been so engulfed in our situation right now that if I were to be up here and say I haven't really noticed the schedule, everybody would roll their eyes. I literally haven't really been able to check out the schedule. We've been trying to get a damn win. I was aware of it. You stop really looking at. That's why the highest form of sanity is just be in the present moment. And when you're in a situation like this, you're just in the present moment. You're just trying to do everything you can just to get one win. So yeah, give me some time on that. Obviously, there'll be a lot of different, feelings about it. I probably won't express, all of them, and that's fair. But we had a great 5-year run. We didn't win the title, but only one team does. We had some great moments here. We all get past that. That's what you always remember. It doesn't matter what everybody feels, right now. All right, thank you.